had an encounter with Jesus. So I wasn't Christian. Like I became Christian 3 years ago, and it was through shoes. So some pastors at my current church, they commissioned some shoes, and then I went there. It was a business event for the church. I didn't know it was a church. And then I show up and I hear this guy speaking with power and confidence. And I've been to a lot of events, and I was like, dude, I've never heard something happening inside
It was like
me.
profound for you.
Yes. And I was like, I don't know what this is. I'm coming back. And I just kept showing up.
I love that.
I was the guy sitting in the back, sunglasses. They weren't judging me. I was just hearing people preach, and I loved that. And then I went into this deep journey that's been 3 years now of following Jesus.
Your Catholic mom and your Catholic grandma, they're so happy right now, huh?
They are.
Hi, welcome to the Flat Bill Investors Podcast. I'm Josh Zaglaski.
I'm Zach Spencer. Welcome. Hey, so first, we've got a great guest today, but before we get into our guest, this is the first time that we've had our hats.
Some swag.
Our actual Flat Bills just showed up today. And so we want to say thanks to Colt and all the guys over at Drip Swag, because they're actually pretty sweet. I just went to wash my hands a minute ago, and in the mirror, it's forward. It's actually pretty sweet. So thanks, Drip Swag, for all your help.
Thank you, Drip Swag.
Yeah, let's get into it. We've got an amazing guest today, somebody who no sabía que era caraqueño, pero tenemos un caraqueño aquí con nosotros hoy. Y if you didn't know that we're bilingual on this podcast, hoy sí estamos, okay?
It'll be at the very bottom.
So we've got somebody who's overcome a lot. And I think even just when you find out what it takes to come from Venezuela to the States and to make something of yourself and to get through that, shows an incredible amount of resilience and vision and all the things we talked about. And if you're in the Wasatch Front, you've probably seen his artistic ability and done some shoe. We'll get into the shoes in a bit, but we've got Raynei. Raynei, what's up, man?
Raynei.
Yo.
I'm excited to be here. Thank you for the invite.
Yeah, you bet.
Yeah, we're happy to. Estamos contentos tenerte aquí.
Okay.
Man,
Enough of that.
Just kidding. No, I'm just kidding.
Spanish, man.
There you go. We'll leave it in English now.
The thing is, the audience, not a lot of audience knows though, is that's where you did your LDS church mission in Venezuela.
Yep.
So there's a great connection.
Yeah, that's why we got the fun connection. Is he was in a bigger part. I was in a little city of only like 6 million people. He was in a really big city. Caracas
And that
is big.
city that you were in is pretty hot.
Cabimas, where I was at, was so hot. It's basically 100 degrees and 100% humidity all year.
What year was there a certain age that you moved from Venezuela?
I moved here when I was 18, so that was 2010.
Okay.
2010, so I've been here for a while.
And that was right when the political scene started to really get crazy.
That's why I had to leave, man. It was getting too crazy down there.
Yeah, it's wild. So anyway,
has it slowed down, or is it just the same?
No, it's just gotten worse over the last 15
Oof.
years. Yeah, worse and worse. But anyway, we're here. You're here, but tell us maybe a little bit about that, because coming here as 18, like, did you come with family?
Yeah.
What kind of got you on that?
Well, thank you guys for the invite. So I moved here when I was 18. Honestly, when I came here, I realized there was so many opportunities. I mean, being at Venezuela for 2 years for your mission, you come here and you see all the opportunities, buildings, dollars, businesses, people are flourishing. And I was just like, man, I think I can do that.
Had you ever visited the United States at that time?
No.
So you're just seeing all this like, oh my gosh.
Yeah. Well, let me ask this then. Did you come to Utah first, or did you go somewhere else first?
It was Utah first. The one thing that I thought I was going to get into, like, the movies, you see New York City.
Yeah.
I thought I was going to get to that. And I'm like, this is it. And imagine Utah 2010 is not what it is now.
For sure.
It's not that different than New York. What are you talking about?
It's grown so much. Yeah.
So it was a shocker, but it was actually pretty good for me because I was able to learn the language, adjust really quick. So I realized right when I got here that I wanted to mingle and make sure, I adapt really quick.
Yeah, that's great. I mean, let me ask you, why Utah though? Out of all the places you could have landed, was there somebody you knew or some family?
My dad moved here in 22 during the Olympics.
Oh,
so that was where the connection happened.
2002.
Yeah, 2002 during the Olympics, he came, and then so you came.
And then, cool.
You came 8 years later.
8 years later.
Does he still? He lives in Layton, right?
He still lives up here in Layton.
Yeah.
That's when I come up here, just visit him and see how he's doing.
And so when you moved here, because I know where you're at today, but so you moved here, it's 2010. I assume you went to find a job. How was that tough to find a job being from another country?
Yeah, so
green card probably.
It was a grind. I had all kinds of jobs. From my first job here in the U.S., It was a Chuck E. Cheese, the one that used to be
In
up
Layton.
here.
Yep.
I used to be Chucky.
Oh, you were
Yeah.
Charles Edwards Cheese.
That's
Yeah.
where I knew you from.
Amazing.
Yes. I have pictures out there on Facebook.
Yeah.
So I used to be Chucky.
I love that.
Because I
That was my
wasn't.
favorite thing when I was a kid. I'm serious.
Charles Edwards Cheese. We like him.
Yeah,
There you go.
he would. I have some crazy stories about that guy, but anyways, that was the only spot they could put me in because the language
Oh,
barrier.
you didn't have to talk, yeah.
yeah. And then from there, man, I had all kinds of jobs from dishwashing to washing cars, like waiter. So that's why right now, even being here with you guys on today's Tuesday and I'm hanging out, I'm grateful for that because I know what it is.
Yeah.
Being working for somebody else and trying to figure out, okay, what am I gonna do in this country? Because I knew I didn't come here to stay there. I knew it was just a season of my life.
Yeah.
But I had to go get what I really wanted.
Totally.
Yeah,
I totally agree with that. I mean, I know where you're at today and I know where I was at, 20 years ago. And it's like all those, like, let's just call them labor jobs, they're tough, but they're also build you, I don't ever look back like, can't believe I did that. No, I'm glad I did every single one, which is a lot. From McDonald's when I was 15 to Arby's and I moved my way up.
Well, no, it's so funny. We were just in Old Navy the other day with Sadie, I've got a little 10-year-old daughter. And so we went on a little date with her and took her into Old Navy. And I was like, I worked at Old Navy. And she was like, you did? I was like, yeah, my junior year of high school. I folded shirts and cleaned the aisles and picked up stuff. And she was like, you worked at Old Navy? And I was like, yeah. And Olive Garden too. I was a host. And she was like, oh my gosh, what?
I don't know you anymore.
She's like, did you get to eat all the food? I was like, yeah. So anyway.
That's usually the question I get because I work in food. Like, did you eat a lot of burgers? At
Well,
McDonald's?
I did actually eat a lot of the breadsticks. I'm not gonna lie. So,
And probably the burgers were healthier back then, man.
Probably.
Probably
not.
So there you go. So
Well,
anyway,
I had a different metabolism than
yeah,
I do today.
also, 20-year-old me could eat a little bit more than, and that was 16-year-old me.
Yeah.
But no, so that's good. I mean, so we, I think you kind of embody that, like going through, just what it took. Before the show started, we had Callie, one of the gals in here, say that when she thinks about you, she thinks about resilience and perseverance. Like tell us a little bit about that. Like what things have you?
Let me add a little stuff to that.
Sure.
The question that we asked is like, what was his superpower?
Yeah.
And he was like, well, I'm not sure. I've never really got that question before. And Callie was kind of helping out, get things set up. And, what did you say? Relationships.
Oh, really? Oh,
You eventually ended up saying relationships. You said,
yeah.
that's one thing I've kind of noticed is it's what's funny. That's what I wanted to add to that. And then she mentioned perseverance was her opinion, and it is a good one. And I'm sure there's really good stories with that. But knowing you for, I'd say 4 years.
Yeah.
And, one of the things that we're going to talk about is, your transition of your believing in Christ and where that transition's been. I want to hear about that. But knowing you, it's not just relationships with you, it's cultivating those. Right. And you have really deep relationships. Right. Like you and I, like when we see each other, it's like we get right into where we kind of left off and versus not surface stuff. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Right.
So go more about like why relationships you feel.
Yeah. So like I was telling you, our mutual friend, Sean Finnegan, he's been really helpful. And I like to honor him on that because he was one of the first guys that I met in this type of circles. And there was something different about him. And from that point, it was like, okay, like I can make a difference. And when I had an encounter with Jesus, so I wasn't Christian. Like I became Christian 3 years ago, and it was through shoes. So some pastors at my current church, they commissioned some shoes, and then I went there. It was a business event for the church. I didn't know it was a church. Mm-hmm. And then I show up and I hear this guy speaking with power and confidence. And I've been to a lot of events. Mm-hmm. And I was like, dude, I've never heard something happening. It
was like profound for you.
Yes. And I was like, I don't know what this is. I'm coming back. And I just kept showing up.
I love that.
I was the guy sitting in the back, sunglasses. They weren't judging me. I was just hearing people preach. And I loved that. And then I went into this deep journey that's been 3 years now of following Jesus.
Your Catholic mom and your Catholic grandma, they're so happy right now, huh?
They are. My mom's Catholic, and it actually got our relationship even stronger because sometimes I just talk to her and we just talk about the Bible.
That's cool.
Yeah, that makes the mom's. I'm sure that makes your mom's heart happy. That's good.
Yeah, it's a good way to connect with her because she's hardcore Catholic and she serves at her church and all that. So now it's like,
does she hear where does she live?
She's in Venezuela. Yeah, so it's
how often do you talk to her?
I talk to her probably almost every day.
Oh, really? That's so cool.
Yeah.
Good boy.
So one of the
Good
things,
boy.
Good
yeah.
job.
One of the things that I do is I like going on walks after work, just kind of remove myself from the chaos
Yeah.
of the business and all of it. And I just talk to her. I call her on the phone, or, I'll do some worship, or, listen to a podcast or things like that, just to get my mind off things. It's a little good thing that I like to have systems and routines in place. And
That's cool.
I know you do too.
Yeah.
I'm sure you as well. It's like those things makes our life better. So when we go out in the marketplace, we can perform the best we
Totally.
can.
Yeah.
Well, let me kind of stop you real quick, because we know what you do, but somebody who's watching maybe doesn't know. And this kind of, I think, plays a good part into these stories that you're telling, is your current business. And one of the things is when they talk about your superpower, I don't really know you that well. I just have seen you around and seen things you're doing and seen people at your studio creating, this art. And so when you talk about your superpower, it was crazy to me that you didn't say something about be able to do art, because to me, that's something that I wish I had a better talent at that, or I wish I were more creative and things like that could build things in such an artistic way. So it was interesting when you didn't say that. I was like, no, for me, your superpower in my eyes is that you can take these, blank canvases and turn it into something beautiful or custom or unique. So maybe tell real quick how you got into that, and tell our listeners what you do.
Yeah. So my company, we do custom shoes. So we've done a few shoes for Josh. We're about to do some for you now too.
Yeah.
It's a fun business. I used to have my first business 8 years ago, was a clothing brand. It was e-commerce, and we went into retail spaces. We had a couple of spots here, one up here in Farmington. And then from there, we just went all in on shoes back in like 2020 or 2020, early 2021. And what I decided was like, okay, I want to be the best at making shoes. Like I started looking at other guys on YouTube and seeing, okay, these guys, they're good, but I wanted to see why were they stuck at that level.
Sure. Yeah.
And then what I realized, I had a good mentor and coach who was like, you need to stop thinking as an artist, and you need to think as a business guy. Start building a team, start building systems. I love systems right now, because we just hire an advisor to help us scale the company. So we now have a team of 5 people doing shoes. We're building production lines and things like that. So that's what I'm very passionate right now. I love the art aspect, but now what makes it more fun to me is seeing the team.
Yeah.
Seeing, empowering my right hand, Ozzy. Hey man, like, okay, this is how you're going to train the new people. And then I'll help you out. Like, I just kind of let him do his own thing so I can focus on what I'm good at and let him focus what he's good at. So yeah, we do shoes. We do the sneaker nights. Those are really fun. We started doing those last year, which we do like some for team building activities that we can take them to your company or somewhere else, or at our studio. We do networking nights, we do date nights and things like that. So it's a pretty fun thing.
Every time I see him, I'm like, dude, that's so sweet. And I've seen like all sorts of crazy stuff you guys do. So it's cool.
We're gonna get you on the next one.
Yeah. It's all good. Yeah. So to see kind of you go from Chuck E. Cheese to now you've kind of transitioned. I do have a kind of a random question. What's your favorite shoe right now?
Right now, I just like the Jordan 1 Low, the Travis. That's what I kind of
go to.
Yeah, that's my go-to.
That's my go-to too.
I have so many shoes, and I wear almost the same shoe now every day. Yeah, I go through seasons. Last year I was wearing the Jordan 1 highs like all the time. Now I just kind of phase out of that.
There you go.
So I like the low now.
I'm a low guy too.
There you go.
What's your favorite shoe? Sorry,
go ahead.
Tinker threes. I don't have them on, but no. Okay. Yeah.
Cool.
The threes, the gray ones. Anyway.
No, I was going to add. So we were talking about the superpower, and like I said, Callie said perseverance. Why would she say perseverance for you? Oh, let me back up too. You talk about your company name and then the logo, because that's where you told us about that story with her. We didn't know that. That's cool. Yeah. So you've known her a long time.
I know. She actually used to work for the guy that was doing my printing 8 years ago or 10 years ago.
Wow.
And
small world.
she knows me when I was working for somebody else, and I was pursuing my dream on the side, and I would go to their shop and, hey, I want this shirt, and then put this logo. And then she helped me put that logo together, because I was like, we used to use this one that it was Gym Rat, and for branding purposes, it was no longer working. And she seen from like, okay, like I was just selling one shirt to, okay, now we're selling 10, then e-commerce. then the retail stores. Now she's seen this part. So I feel like she's seen the whole journey.
Yeah, that's
which
so
is
cool.
pretty crazy.
That's cool.
As she was saying that, I was like, man, it's been a long ride.
So where did the name Gym Rat come from? So that's GMRT.
GMRT. So it came back in the days I was big into the gym. I think every guy's been like, at least in the early 20s, you're into like,
There's a phase.
Yeah.
So
Sometimes
And you go
Still
for
now.
different reasons.
Yeah.
yeah, right. That too. So it came from like, I wanted to be a gym brand. At the beginning, I wanted to buy gymrat.com. And then the guy wanted like 14 grand for it. I'm like, I haven't sold a single shirt.
You're
So
like,
I just took the Y and the 8 out, call it GMRT. And then, but I stuck to GMRT for everything because it's just been part of the journey.
I love
So
that.
I just don't want to come up with a new name. So every new thing that I start, I just put GMRT and whatever it is next.
Yeah.
So it's just one thing that it just kind of reminds me, okay, where the beginnings were a few years ago. So.
Well, being that the one thing that you and I have talked about too is you being a visionary. Where do you like? Do you have some stuff kind of that you're going to come out with your own company that you're always still looking at that might come out in the next 6 to 12 months?
Yeah. So actually, that's a great question. I thank you for asking that.
Yeah.
Because I think about it all the time.
Yeah.
So we got a couple of things. So obviously, we're very known for the shoes aspect, and we're still trying to master that, be the best at it. But there's other things that we're trying to do right now. We're working on customizing a car, a very nice car. We want to get into that. Like not just customizing the outside, but the inside.
That'd be cool.
Like, because we do a lot of leather work. So we already have prototypes created. We've tested this in the lab. And then the other dream, it's probably now 6 months, but I would say 2-3 years is down the road, is customizing a mansion for YouTubers, influencers. So you've been to our place. So it's called The Lab. It's all custom. A lot of these influencers, they do the same thing. They go to Puerto Rico, they buy this mansion, and every part of the mansion is a different theme.
Yeah.
And for us, it's like
It's like the old MTV Cribs.
Yeah.
exactly
A little bit.
So that's kind of what we're trying to do. Like, hey, this is our budget, and you have a month to do the entire thing. And we know a bunch of artistic people, and then we'll put them all together in a room. Hey, let's make this place amazing for, I don't know, Jake Paul, Logan Paul, whoever.
That's
that
cool.
be. So it's a very specific client because they got to be crazy enough to like do something like that.
Yeah.
But those are the two things.
It reminds me of the Carlos Boozer story with Prince. Have you ever heard that?
Yes.
That'll
when
be
you
for
rented
another
the
day.
house.
We'll have to tell you someday, but yeah, he just converted the whole house and then converted it back. We'll chat about it. But that's the ability, like, Josh says, you had put on your sheet, the visionary. That is one of those things where I think some people may not think I'll ever have the ability to do something that big.
Yeah.
But to dream in that size, to me, that's pretty cool. That's amazing.
And you've been really helpful with that, like, because, I see you on social media. When I see you at events, I'm like, dude, this guy's doing big things.
Yeah.
And I know him. So that helps me dream big
Sure.
because I'm like, okay, like, I know him. It's a real human. I can touch that guy.
Yeah.
So it's just like motivating, seeing you, my other friends and clients, because I like my clients to become friends. Now, it obviously doesn't happen with everybody, but most of them, I want to be your friend. Like, I actually want to get to know you.
Yeah.
What did you do to get here? And a lot of times we don't even talk about business. I like to talk about life, because that's what makes us better to perform in our
Well, that's what you and I were talking about when you first got here. We'd nothing about either one of our businesses. We talked about the Kentucky Derby, and the guy that won was from Venezuela.
Yeah.
So that's where we talked about the country and stuff.
A little Venezuelan dude.
I want to add something real quick. We talk about visionary. So there's a book called Rocket Fuel. Have you ever heard that book?
No.
Have you heard a book called Traction?
Yeah, that one, yes.
Yeah. So Traction, the author of it made a second one called Rocket Fuel.
Okay.
And he talks about, in order to have a successful business, you got to have two people. Because he interviewed multiple Fortune 500 companies, and he saw the percentage of ones that had success had two people in their company, a visionary and an integrator. You talk about Ozzy, I assume he might be your integrator, but you should read that book, because then once you kind of both understand, it sounds like you guys already understand each other, like where his role is, where your role is, all that kind of stuff. But that's something that I think even the audience should know, is that's such a great book. Because if you're someone that's starting a business or even having a business, and you've had it for 4 or 5 years, and you're like, man, I'm just grinding. I need to figure something out. read that book, because you might be an integrator and you need to find a visionary to be a partner with or help you out with your business.
Exactly. And that's good, because when I brought Ozzy as my right hand, we kind of just took off, but he also took ego. I had to put my ego aside and be like, hey, you know what? I know what I'm good at, and I know what I suck at. And he was bringing the skills that I was not really good at it.
Yeah.
And that's how we've been able to scale.
Yeah.
Finding that out. And that's why I love the superpower question, which the first time I got asked that question was at the that nigiri lunch. We went to a sushi lunch with a bunch of entrepreneurs, and at the table, they just went around and they said, hey, everybody tell us your superpower. And luckily I was at the end of the table, because I was like, nobody's probably really ever asked me that.
Really?
And really, I had like never really had to sit and think, okay, what are my superpowers? I mean, I've had thoughts about like what I'm good at, what I'm not good at, like doing my own paperwork, not good at. I need to hire someone to do that.
Yeah.
But other things, but it was funny in that lunch to have that kind of hit me like that, like, okay, what is my superpower? Because now when we, you see that, you go, okay, you can really lean into that. And that really gives you legs. So it's awesome to hear.
So good.
Yeah. That's amazing. Anyway, hearing you, the passion like oozes out of your voice about it, which is pretty cool.
Thank you.
So,
it always has. I mean, the business is awesome. It's a great, business that he's been in. I've always tried to add value of like, hey, have you ever thought about this? Have you thought about that? I think we all should do that, especially like when he talks about seeing each other at networking groups. That's what I'm always trying to find is like, how can I be almost like a outside consultant for someone to help them succeed? Because someone asked me, is actually a friend of mine, Andy, one time, I can't remember the exact question, but the answer was like, I do it because I want other people around me to succeed too, not just myself, because I don't want to be on the mountain by myself. I want people to, hike with me and get all the way up. Right.
Yeah.
Right. Which is, it's a reminder. I remember a couple of years ago, I had one employee. I've never forget this. She's like, I gave her paycheck, because I'm old school too. I give people their paycheck.
Oh, wow.
Because I just know what
something tangible to feel.
I just know like how hard, like, because I think about like who's looking for custom shoes. So I'm always thinking about like, how to market and things like that. So when I give people their check, it's like, dude, we work hard for this. So I go hand out people's check. But I remember one time I gave this employee a big paycheck. We had an amazing month. And she's like, this is the biggest check of my life I've never had. And that to me, I was like, man, that was worth it.
It's funny because there was this one time with our ERC company, we did a profit sharing, and there was bonuses at the end of the year. And one of my employees, I won't say her name, she's like, hey, can I talk to you and one of my partners? But you could tell it wasn't like it was that she had
something was up.
Yeah. Well, in a positive way.
Yeah.
Cause sometimes you're like, can we talk to you? Like, it didn't have that feeling like, this is gonna be bad. It's like, okay, this is something, and when we walk in the room, she just bawled and she cried, and she was like, you don't even know, like last week we were just sitting there thinking like, how are we going to do this or that? Cause they had a couple like medical problems in their family, and now they could pay cash for it.
Yeah.
And she's like, that, you guys are the best. Like that changed me. And it's funny because stuff like that, like when you talk about that, of all the, let's say the income I've made for a year, that made it all worth it for me.
Yeah. It's funny.
That conversation.
It maybe pales in comparison to the rest of it, but
for
just
sure.
this something unexpected or something that was just a little bigger than kind of changes your perspective a little bit. That's great. Yeah. Well, listen, I know we've talked a lot about shoes, hats, Venezuela. I didn't get your best empanada or your super tequeño order. There's a place in Venezuela called Super Tequeños.
You're more Venezuelan than I am.
I miss it. I miss it a lot. We need to go have some empanadas. I know a good place downtown, and some arepas. But no, Raynei, it's been awesome to get to know you a little bit better and to hear some of your story. And I feel inspired. Hopefully our listeners feel inspired too, but we really appreciate you coming on.
No, thank you for having me.
Yeah, thanks, man. And then if you guys need to get a hold of him, we'll have his information of his company. If you guys want to party, more in Utah, sneaker party or whatever, you guys know how to get a hold of him. But until next time, invest in your future.
Invest in yourself.
This is the Flat Bill Investors Podcast, signing off.